are back with another International Commission podcast. We're having a lot of fun with these. I hope you guys are too. My name's Grace Swanson. I'm the marketing coordinator here at IC, and I'm here with Bucky Elliott, our media director, and he's going to tell us what we're going to be talking about today. So, take away.
All right, today our episode is going to have a couple of different segments, and the first one is a learn something.
Boom, boom.
And we're going to talk about the benefits of having international friends.
Which there
Cross-cultural
are.
Relationships. There's lots. There's lots of reasons to have international friends. And then we're going to have a Take Some Advice segment about how to navigate airports.
Because they can be simple but confusing and
They're
overwhelming.
They're always a little overwhelming.
Always.
Even the smaller ones.
It's not hard, but it can be
That's right.
overwhelming.
So we did a video recently. We kind of have a what to expect video series on YouTube to help people who want to go on missions trips but are nervous about just different aspects of them and don't know what to expect. So we're trying to lower that barrier and help you know what
Tell
to
people
expect.
it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And you're traveling with people who travel all the time.
Right.
So you don't really need to know anything, but just
That's true.
have your
You go along,
stuff
but
and
sometimes
just
it just
go
kind of
along.
lowers that anxiety level to know
Yes.
what to expect.
Like you can
going
do it.
into it.
Anybody
Yeah.
can do it.
So this will just be a conversational version of that.
Yep.
To help you realize that going to the airport's not that scary. It can be frustrating.
It can
I
be
ain't gonna lie to you.
frustrating, it can be annoying, but it does not need to be a reason that you don't go.
Yeah.
So
So, all right, well, let's get into our first segment and talk about one of the benefits of traveling is that we get to meet friends overseas. And in a place like this where we live near DFW, in the great white north of Texas,
iced in.
we have people from all over the world. And so we can build cross-cultural relationships with people from different countries here too. And there's a lot of benefits in that, of course, as well, kind of being on the welcoming side. But hey, if y'all didn't know, we had a very rare snowstorm, an ice storm.
We did. It looked like snow, but it was really just a lot of... We're still kind of iced in here in the office a little bit.
It looks real nice, but it's like for a couple of days there, because it was also freezing rain and sleet, you step outside on top of the snow and just like walk right across the top of it like it's not even real.
Yes.
It was very weird.
It's just like, oh, I'm like walking, but like underneath is ice, and it's very dangerous, but we're good.
Yeah, don't drive. So we all just stayed home for a while.
Yeah, but now we're back.
We're back. Here we are.
Nothing was going to keep us away from the podcast.
That's right. That's right. Okay, maybe I'll try to get back on topic a little bit. So, how do you meet people from other cultures? Because one, you could meet them on a trip overseas. Obviously, if you go to another country, you're going to meet people from another country. Or if you live around international populations, you can build friendships with them there. And of course, if you go on a mission trip with us, the whole point is to work with nationals.
Yes.
And
so you will definitely meet
it's just
people.
kind of built in.
Yeah.
But going from meeting someone to then building a relationship with them, that takes, investment and attention.
Yeah.
And so how do you do that?
I think first you have to realize that just because you live in different areas of the world, like you'll have differences, but we're all the same. Like we all they're just as nervous to meet us and get to know us as we are to get to know them. So it's like, why not just break down that barrier and just ask questions, like have conversations. It doesn't need to be this mechanical, oh, we're here for a mission trip and blah, blah. Like just be like, hey, I'm from Texas. Or, where, like, are you from around here? Do you live in a different city? Ask them questions about themselves. And I think that that'll open up the conversation, become friends. Because if you're both just sitting there, I've noticed if you just sit there, talk business, it's like, you need to get to know them as a person. Get to know them as a friend. Like, ask them questions you would ask your friend. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? And that will oftentimes spiral into other conversations.
I think once you break that ice, you start to realize that they have normal interests and wants and hobbies and stuff too, because they're other human beings. They're not just someone from Nepal or Mongolia or Kenya
Yeah.
or Ghana
And
or
they'll
whatever.
have differences, but it's like a lot of times, like, same movies, same
Yep.
TV shows. You're like, what? You watch
Yeah,
that too?
especially
Or
these days, like the
yes.
internet has become for all of its evils, it's done a lot of good.
Yep.
The internet is a great uniter,
Yeah.
and people are watching the same stuff on YouTube that you do. Hopefully, this show.
Yeah. We can share it.
But the movies and music that you listen to,
Yeah.
a lot of times they will, even Christian music, because if on
Yeah.
our trips we're going and we're working with other believers, you get to interact with people in their churches, and they're familiar with just a lot of the same
Yeah.
music.
So there's
and books and
conversation
things you
starters
are.
right there. Be like, oh,
Yeah.
do you like this? Do you like that? Like,
And
elimination.
then once you realize that there's a lot of commonalities to talk about, you also realize, hey, wait a minute, we're very much alike.
Yeah.
And you start to build a friendship. Their kids are
Yeah.
probably into the same sports or something, you're into, or at least they're dealing with the same issues that you do. It
Yeah,
just looks a little bit
exactly.
different in their culture. And yeah, there's just lots of ways to connect to people. But I think that's the main thing, right? Is just
Don't
relate.
treat them like this foreign thing. Yes,
Yeah.
they're not from
You're the
America,
foreigner,
but we're
really.
we're
Yeah.
the foreigner. Like,
Yeah,
we're going
you're the
into their territory.
curiosity.
Yeah. And like, they're just normal people. They're just happen to be in a different country and live a little bit differently than we do.
Yeah,
But
and see, I personally love learning about all those differences.
yeah,
Like,
I do too.
what is different in this country? What is different in your culture, or even the way that you see the world, the food that
Yeah.
you eat? What do you do every day? What's your routine? What's the
Yeah.
transportation like? What's the education
And they're
like? All
very
that stuff.
open. Like, you
Yeah,
just don't be scared
that's
to ask them that. Like, a lot of times they want to share, and then that opens up conversations for them to ask about you. Like, oh, we don't drive on the left side of the road. What? That's all we do. Or, oh my
hmm
goodness, like, they're just as amazed. So it's like,
yeah,
if you start asking questions, then they'll feel more comfortable then to ask questions and be like, wait, we do that differently. Or like, it just builds a friendship because it's like, oh, what? That's so different than how we do it. But
that's a good point, because they're just as curious about us and what's different.
yeah,
So they'll ask plenty of questions too. Like, you don't have to come up with
no.
all of these
Because
things
it's
to
just how
ask
we
the
live our life, just like it's just how they live their life. I don't care answering the questions they
hmm
have, and most of the time,
And I
they
think
don't care
in
either.
these interactions in particular, where we're there for mission and everybody understands,
Yes.
hey, these people from another place are coming here.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times on our mission partnerships, there's even people from other parts of that country or surrounding
Yeah.
countries to them, and everybody comes from a different place. And so that's just gonna be a topic of conversation
Yep, for sure.
of what's different where you are. And a lot of times those people are exploring what it is that we do have in common.
Uh-huh.
Like, they also are going to ask you things that you believe, or what your family values are, what
Yeah.
your beliefs about God and the Bible are, because they kind of want to make sure we're really
For
uh,
sure.
on the same page.
Yep.
And so you can get deep really fast.
Yeah, you can.
So if you're not on a mission trip, and if the focus isn't, evangelism with people that they know, that they've been praying for, there's still ways to connect. A lot of these things are still going to be true.
Yeah.
A lot of people around the world, they love inviting foreigners.
Oh,
Hospitality is a
yeah.
huge value in really most
And they're interested
cultures.
in foreigners. I feel
Yeah.
like us here, like, it's not that we're not interested, but we're just so used to it. We're just like, and everybody in America is just doing their own thing.
We
Like,
kind of think people are going to come here and they're going to, find their way. And if they're
yep.
interested in talking to
Yeah.
Americans that are
Yeah.
from here, then they will. But the reality is, most people that are new in our country, I know this is true of international students.
Mm.
Most of them never do make an American friend.
No,
That's
which
really,
isn't
really sad.
it? Because you just
Yeah.
think they would, because you're like, oh, they're here.
Yeah.
But
And
it's also like when we go over there, like even if we're not on a mission trip, I've noticed that even if we're just out in a market or out traveling, most of the time the people there are very interested in who you are and why you're there because it's so
Yep.
uncommon. So
Yeah,
they're
they
like,
wanna
what
know.
are you doing
That's
here? Like, why are you? Whereas here, it's like, not an excuse. We're just so used to seeing people from foreign countries. So we're just like, all right, they're probably here. We just assume. But over there,
That is
they're
a really
very
good point.
interested and they will start a conversation with you if you won't most of the time. Like, they
Yep.
will. They
Yeah,
are not afraid
that's
to.
true. That's true. Especially, I mean, in a lot of cultures. Yeah, you're right. In a lot of cultures, that's true.
South
Especially
America,
South
Africa,
America. I
like,
was thinking in Asia, a lot of places in Asia.
yes.
Some countries in Asia, they tend to be kind of more
Yeah.
shy. But
But for the most part, they're
you're a
very,
curiosity, and if you're in a bigger city, they're used to seeing foreigners, but usually for a particular purpose. Like there might be
yes.
one industry that if they ever see a Westerner there, they assume you're there for
That's what you're
that.
there for.
But other places are, but they'll talk to you.
Yeah. Like, oh,
They
what are you
want to
here
help you. They
for?
want to help guide you.
Yep.
And then other places, especially on our trips, you're going to be way out in a village somewhere, and
We're seeing American is
they very
like,
rarely or never have met
never.
an American, and they're definitely going to ask you questions, and they're going to
Oh,
invite you into their house and give you tea or give you like whatever they have,
yeah.
and you're going to be the victim of some pretty radical hospitality,
Yes,
and you
for
don't even have
sure.
to try at that point. Like you're just
No,
being
you're just
welcomed in,
there. Yep.
So I think it's really easy
I
to
think
build
so.
relationships and those kind of situations, and there's a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I really wanted to talk about with you is how does having international friends make you better? Because I think it does.
I think it does too. And I think that it's such a deep question that can have so many different points. But I think the main thing is like whenever I go overseas, I just realize like they're always so content. I think Americans are
Mm,
so not content with what we have and just life. Like we always think it could be better. But everybody overseas on every trip I've ever gone on is just so content with what they're not looking for more. They're not looking for bigger. They're not looking for better. They're just content and they focus on people. They don't focus on themselves. They focus on others and
yeah,
they prioritize time together over their own schedules and their own things. So it teaches me that like wow, I can slow down and just be appreciative of where I'm at and not be rushing. Americans rush all the
we
time. We
do.
rush everything.
Yeah,
But they just teach like flexibility. I think that's a huge thing. Americans are also we like our schedule. We like the way things are, and overseas everybody does something differently. They all have different schedules and different agendas, and guess what, they don't freak out if something doesn't go their way. They just, all right, let's on to the next thing. So I think that there's a lot of different lessons, like in a lot of ways that they make me a better person after visiting with them. I'm just like, wow, you're so humble and so loving and so kind and just open. Like they just teach to love everybody. Like they
hmm
seriously do love every single person. I think it's easy to say, "Oh yeah, I love everybody," but it's like, do we go up to random people all the time and just start
right.
conversations? Do
When's
we?
the last time I saw somebody who was a foreigner walking down the street and I demanded that they come into my house, which would
Yeah.
really creep us out most
Yeah.
of the time,
Yeah.
and have tea and coffee with them? Like go out of my way, interrupt my schedule
Yeah.
because I see in a foreigner, and I feel obligated and joyful to spend some
Yeah.
time with them.
We don't.
We don't do
We
those.
don't do that. They do that all the time. Like that's their
Yeah, so
ministry. But here,
I have a particular instance in mind of
do
when I
you?
was in Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad and I were walking down the street, and this guy he had a Chevy truck out in
Oh.
front of his house in
Wow.
a wealthier neighborhood, and so we kind of connected over that. I just made some small talk, but he was like, "Oh, you're from the United States." He
Yeah.
heard us talking. Knew it. And he was like, "Oh,
I know where they're from.
I love American trucks. Like, please come inside and
It's like,
let's
well, we're
talk."
from Texas and they're
Yeah,
everywhere.
I did. Well, that's what we told him. He's like, "Yeah, I live in Texas." I was like, "Oh, you must come inside." And he was packing for like a trip. Like he was getting ready to go to the airport.
Oh.
But
Wow.
you know, our inclination is to politely decline with the assumption
Yeah.
that,
It's
oh,
gonna be an
yeah,
inconvenience.
for us,
It's
it's nice to make the offer, but not necessarily mean it.
yes. Very
And
southern.
then it's polite for us to decline because I shouldn't inconvenience you if I value you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Totally
If
different
you
there.
decline, that's rude.
Yeah, very
Like,
rude. And so in Arab culture, and
yeah.
so we went into a total stranger's house, like my mom always taught me never to do, and
In
eat
this
what he gave
instance,
me, which I was taught never to
never
do.
to do.
But that really expands your horizons. It really
Yes.
kind of forces you to do new things, but like you're
Yeah.
saying, to see people in a different way and to see how open their hearts and their homes are
Yeah.
and how generous they are.
Like, they mean it. When they offer you
Yeah.
something, they mean it, and you better take it,
So that
'cause
inspires me, though. Inspires me to be more like that.
yes, and be more like that here. Obviously, we have to adjust that with, like, we're not gonna walk to someone on the street and just be like, "Hey, come in my house." Like, you have to use discernment, but,
Of
like,
course.
to be like, "Hey, like, this person looks like they're by themselves. They don't really look like they know what's going on. Let me talk to them and just see,
Hmm.
like, where they're from, where they're at, and if they wanna be friends." Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
You can just start a conversation, man. You don't have to invite a stranger into your house
No,
right now
you can
today.
go and be
But
like, "Hey, you wanna go grab coffee in this
yeah.
shop? You wanna go do this?" Like, they're very open to being friends, but, like, they don't know our country, so why do we just
Hmm.
assume that they know exactly
And
what to
I think
do?
it's, Jesus told us to, well, first of all, Jesus was interruptible
Yeah?
and spent time with people, and he was going
Yep.
along and he had a schedule and a plan, and it drove his disciples crazy that he
Yep.
would do something else to spend time with someone
Divert.
who needed
Yep.
the time, right? And he's interruptible, and I want to be more like him, so maybe I should be more interruptible,
Yes!
you know.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
also, he was generous and told us to love the stranger and to love our neighbor as ourselves. If somebody's here,
Yeah.
even if they're not from here, they're my neighbor if they're here, and so I should
Be
be
kind
kind
and
and
be
welcoming
open.
to them, right?
Yeah.
Well, I've been a foreigner before. Actually, I'm a
Mm.
foreigner a lot of the times when I
Yes.
travel, but I've been a foreigner living overseas in other countries and moving around different states. And by the way, if you don't know,
There's
there's a
different
lot of
culture.
cultural differences between states in the
There
U.S.
is.
And I know what it's like to not know how things work or what
Yeah.
people value or what to say,
It's
not to say, and
overwhelming.
it is. And so to have someone welcome you and want to help you and be your friend is so valuable.
Yeah.
So I'm the victim of that, the recipient of that all the time
Yeah.
overseas. So I want to share that same thing with people who are here.
Yeah. And I think it's important too when making friends like overseas or in different states, like before you make friends, do your research on what is polite and not polite there,
Yeah.
because you could do something so like that's so normal here in America that could be so offensive overseas, and like you just never know. And so it is sometimes helpful to have those connections beforehand to be like, hey,
Yup.
is this rude or is this not, or just ask questions, because if you do something innocently, oftentimes you'll get someone laughing at you and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, what did I do?
Yeah,
Like,
they understand that you're a foreigner, so
that
they'll
you
give
don't
you a lot of
know.
slack.
But learn and put in the effort. I've noticed going overseas, like if you put in any effort to learn their language or culture beforehand, they think it's the greatest thing
Yep.
ever. Like I learned a little bit of Swahili before I went to Kenya, and just when placing your order at our hotel, they were like, "Oh, you know," and they're like, "You spent time." Like they're so
It
honored
means
by
a
it.
lot to them, yeah.
Whereas here, people speak English, and it's almost like, "Well, yeah, we expect you
We
to."
expect you to.
Yes, which
Yeah,
I
and
think
really
is
have
so
very little patience
for
for
people who
you if you
don't
don't.
speak
Yeah.
English, which they're
Which
not
if you've
that
tried to
way.
learn another language, you try your best and you try to, but man, it's really intimidating to
Yeah.
try it out in public. And so
Because what if you
uh
mess up? What if you say
yeah, and
something
so some people don't
wrong?
try, and you
Yeah.
never know why. You never know why they're not.
No.
And just yeah, so I've learned to cut people some more slack because I want it when
Yeah,
when
exact
I'm the
when I'm
foreigner,
trying.
you know. Yeah. The time thing, you mentioned the differences in
Mhm.
in values when it comes to schedule.
Yeah.
And one thing that I learned in Cuba, I mean, I've observed this lots of places, but
Sure.
someone finally sat down and explained it to me, which is valuable. Like you're saying, we want to learn what customs and values we can beforehand, so we can be the
Yep.
best guests that we can
Yeah.
and build friendships
Because we are
and
not
try
in
not to
control
offend
there. We
people.
are the
But
visitors.
people will help you also.
Yeah.
And so someone explained it to me and helped me out to understand that in the US and other Western countries, we really value schedule,
Mhm.
and we consider it respectful to be
On
prompt,
time.
right?
Mhm.
Because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. And that's
Yep.
how we think about time. It's a non-renewable
Transactional.
resource.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so once it's gone, it's gone. And so I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste mine, because time is productivity to us.
Yeah.
All right. So in Cuba, it's an island. one of
Yeah.
the many places where they operate on island time. It's also Latin American, double
Yeah.
whammy.
Double.
People and relationships are a higher value than your own schedule. Now, I'm not saying that's not true of,
Yeah.
any American, but just
Yeah.
as a matter of like
How they
priority. Yeah.
operate. Yeah.
They would rather be late to an appointment and have stopped to talk to someone on the way.
Yep. Exactly.
And so they're interruptible. And at least that's what was explained to me is if you're late, we assume that you were available to stop and help someone or talk to someone. If you are on time, we assume like you were like the priests in the Good Samaritan story. You had your blinders on, you had your schedule, and you were just
Focused
go on yourself. Yep. And so if you were like the Good Samaritan, and like this is like getting really convicting at this point, I'm like, hey, now don't meddle.
I know, I'm like, wait.
Don't meddle. And you were able to look and see who's on the side of the road and what kind of needs they have. Who cares if you were late? Like, oh man.
Like maybe...
So I can see it both ways, obviously, because you know one culture is not better than another culture.
And
but
one is
different.
not right and one's not wrong. Yeah. It's just different.
But we should understand why it's different, and that it's that so many of those differences are based on a value.
That's just different than what we're used to. I mean,
same
we
thing
told...
like hospitality.
Yep.
Oh man, we value like safety and boundaries. So we would never just invite a total stranger off the street to come into our house. No. But you have to if you're an Arab.
Yeah.
I probably said that a little too like rigid, but it is such a high value to them. It's like a moral issue to show hospitality to a stranger. So it's just different. But all that to say, it teaches us being, having international friends teaches us that people have different viewpoints on the world. Yeah. And they have good reasons for them.
Yeah. It's not just, they're doing this thing. Like, it's easy to go over and be like, oh, this is so inconvenient. I've been on teams where people are like, why aren't we sticking this? Why are we like, we're late? And it's just like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. They know what we're doing. We're going to be where we need to be when we need to be there. And nobody's offended in certain countries if you're late. It's normal. Mm-hmm. Like for us, we're sitting there going...
so nervous about it. Well, see, because we want to represent ourselves well. We want to represent IC well. We want to represent Jesus well. That's what we're thinking.
It's a culture shock
but to
in
them,
that way.
They're like, that doesn't really have any bearing on
like
how
you're fine.
Well I see you.
No.
If you're late or not. They don't care.
That's when it's like you have to drop the pride and be like, okay, I don't know everything best. I'm going to leave that and just trust my translators, my pastors, whoever I'm with, and just let them.
That's the thing. If you just follow their leadership,
they will tell you what
it's kind of their fault.
Yeah.
Like you put the blame on them if you're late or not, because they're and really
even if you're late,
it
may not matter. They just be like everybody's.
It might be nobody's fault.
No, it might just be this is the normal thing.
Sometimes the way that transportation works, everybody's late to everything all the time anyway.
Yes.
And so maybe they've just come to accept it as a culture over the
like,
generations.
All right, this is normal. My dad explained it. He led a trip once, and he would always tell our team before going, he was like, they are experience-oriented, they are event-oriented, and not time-oriented. Okay. And it's like, that makes sense. So, like, church, they said church started at 10, but he was like, it may not end till 4 or 5, because people probably won't show up at 11. They will probably show up 11:30, 11:45. You start around noon. You just kind of go with the flow. You just do. You wait for people to show up. You start whenever everybody's there, and then you just hang out and kind of filter out whenever. It's like they're not like, you need to be out by 2, and you need to do, like, they just do not operate that way.
I feel like whatever time it is on the flyer, because there's always a flyer.
Always.
And they'll probably put your face on it if you're going to talk. It's a little surprising and awkward sometimes. But the time on there is kind of a time block.
Yes. Right? Like just,
2 o'clock doesn't mean 2. It's sometime within the 2 o'clock hour, probably.
Probably. But maybe not. Like, maybe not.
Let's start thinking about heading that way at 2.
At 2. And just be ready.
But it's going to happen on that day sometime.
Just know you're on the schedule, and at some point you're going to be pulled up.
Yeah.
So
it's just, it's different. And then what you do is very intentional. If they say we're going to gather for a prayer meeting, they're going to do exactly that, because that's the experience. That's the plan. That's what they're getting together for.
Exactly.
And that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So understanding those things that, promptness is not really a morally good or bad thing. It's just we see it differently, but we hold it to that level,
Yeah,
right?
we
Like
do.
we feel like it's like a moral thing,
Yeah,
and so that's another thing that I think stretches us.
it
The
does.
international friendships is it informs us about other worldviews and perspectives,
Yeah, it does.
and religions too, because some
Yeah,
cultures
for sure.
are so obviously people have lots of different religions, personally, but most other places in the world, the religion that someone has is not just a personal matter. It's a family matter, a community matter,
Yep.
sometimes in a national identity. And it governs and touches everything
Every
that's a part of
aspect
that
of,
culture,
yeah.
especially like in the Islamic world.
Yep.
Everything is Muslim.
Yep.
And so you just have to understand that a lot of their values are filtered through that.
Yeah.
And if you have friends that come from that culture, you have to understand that that's what's baked into them.
Yep.
And so even when they become a Christian, a lot of those values that's just part of their identity,
It's
part
just,
of their national identity.
yep.
It's who they are. And so it just helps you when you think of a religion, or we're talking about I don't want to get too nitty gritty on any specific issue going on in our country right
Yeah.
now, but a lot of people are talking about Islam on the rise in certain parts of the country.
Yeah.
And we think about Islam as this monolithic just thing, like this force
Yeah.
or this ideology, right? And a lot of the things that we say about those are correct of the system itself or the
Yeah.
religion itself. But now I think of people who I know that are
Yeah.
Islamic,
And you're like, oh.
and not just this idea of it.
Yes. Yeah.
And it really inspires compassion and understanding, because like I can name you names
Yeah.
now of people that I know
Yep.
that are Muslim
Yep.
or were, and
Yeah.
they've accepted Christ. And like, so I kind of understand why they think this way.
Because it's just, that's how you're raised. It's not
Yeah.
just, oh, I'm a Christian, or
But I
I'm
just
a
think
this.
it's always
It's
good
just
to
like,
know someone who, for a face to come to mind instead of just this
yeah.
idea of something.
Yeah.
And so that's always,
It's
it's not,
That's why those
they
personal
believe,
connections are
Muslims
important.
believe XYZ. I mean, now the religious tenets
Yes.
may say this or that, but individuals also believe different things.
And
right?
some of them are much more strict than others. We have friends who are like, well, we believe this, but like also,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, name 5 Catholics.
yeah.
How many of them believe exactly the same thing, or attend church the same amount, or pray the same way? Like, no,
nobody.
they don't. Right?
You can't just
and
put
I'm
a
telling
label.
you, like middle class American Catholicism, so different from Latin America.
Oh,
so different.
Very.
And so it's just like, and then in Europe,
yeah,
I mean, like say in
completely
Italy,
different.
for example,
Yeah.
it's just a different picture.
Yeah, it
and
is.
so this religion may, when we say such and such religion teaches this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may kind of officially.
Yeah.
But what the people actually believe in practice is different based on that person or that family or that community. So when we say things like, yeah, in Hinduism, they believe this. Well, my friend believes this, and that friend believes that. And you're thinking of the people and the conversations that you've had with them about what they believe and value. And so it just helps you kind of understand that, yeah, you just can't assume anything about anyone based on what group they belong to. Once you've started to meet individuals and especially make friends with them, then you're thinking of them, and then you understand, wait a minute, I can't just operate on blanket statements about groups of people.
Because it may not be true about them at all.
Yeah.
You have to get to know them as a person.
So I think travel kills prejudice.
Yep.
I'm not the first person to say that. I've heard that said before, but I just think it's true, and I've experienced that in my life. And I think a lot of these are reasons why, because we just don't think of people as groups as much.
No.
I mean, everybody does have their own prejudices and preconceived notions, but a lot of those start to disappear and morph and change when you make friends.
Yeah,
that
it does.
are from different cultures.
For sure. It's super important, and it's like it's very helpful because I think every single time I've traveled, I'm like, wow, I feel like I have a much better understanding of the world and more compassion and more understanding for their culture, but also for myself. And man, I want to be more like them. How can I
Yeah.
implement that here? And
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that's a weird thing too, because I think of, I mean, maybe 10, 20 years ago, I'll just have to admit this. I would have said, gosh, somebody who's Muslim, or especially if they're an Arab in a Muslim country, I don't want to, I don't think I would say I want to be like those people,
yeah,
because I'm right. What I
yeah.
believe is
What I
right.
believe
My
is the
way of
only right.
life is better.
Yeah,
Um, but gosh, now that I have friends that, man, in some ways are better than me, they're
yeah,
better people than me,
yeah,
at least more generous, at least more content, at least more hospitable,
yeah. We're like, I do
trust
want to be
God
like them.
more.
Yeah,
Gosh, I do want to be like them. Not
yeah.
totally, but there are
No,
definitely things about them that I
could be
want.
better at
Yeah, and so I
for
start to
sure.
realize, hey, people that believe different things from me, there's a lot of good things about them.
Yeah, there is, and there's
And they
so much
have
that we can always be
reasons
learning.
for good reasons for the way that they are and the things they think and the culture they have, and there's always redemptive qualities
Yeah,
everywhere. So it's it also helps you to see people the way that God sees people, I think.
it does, and it's like it reveals that God views us all as the same. We are all His children, but we sometimes have blinders on
Yeah,
for
we all
like, oh
do.
well, our way is right, and what we know is the. But it's like no, like
His way is
His way
right.
is right, and we need to
Yeah.
view everybody through His view and
Yeah.
His lens, not our own.
Yeah, it's like we all have to come to the one truth from wherever it is that we're from,
Yeah,
where we grew
yeah,
up. And sometimes we need to change our minds about things. Our hearts do need to change, obviously. Our whole nature needs to change. We need a new heart and a transformed mind toward His truth. And so I guarantee you, no matter where you were from, no matter what class, country,
yeah.
religion you came from, you need to need to be transformed into the image of Christ.
Yep.
And so you were not right when you were born.
No,
I mean,
none of us were.
I was born into a Christian family,
Yeah,
evangelical Christian family. That's the theological, stream that
yeah,
I would say is most correct. But that wasn't automatic for me. I had to come to the point where I realized the real problem was I have sin in my life
yeah,
and I need transformation. And so I have been transformed a lot. I mean, my mind has changed a lot on a lot of things, but ultimately toward the truth of the gospel, what's in
yeah,
Scripture. And even my understanding of Scripture has changed a lot.
yeah. It
Not the
has.
fundamental truths about who God is in salvation, but
Yeah.
my perspective on the context of things. Like I've had a lot of Jewish friends,
Mm,
or a lot of Messianic Jewish friends who have seen both sides of
yeah.
conservative Judaism and
Wow.
Christianity, and so the way they see the Bible is very Hebrew, very Jewish, which
Yeah.
is an advantage
Yeah.
because it originally is. Just
Yeah.
things like that, it's helped me to see things more clearly
Yeah. Or just
too.
get a different
So,
perspective of like, oh, I never thought to view it that way
hmm
before. Like I've just always read it the exact same, and people bring up different points and you're like, oh, like
yeah,
whoa.
yes.
Or
So
or it
especially,
relates to their culture. Like
yes,
especially like Middle East,
yes,
they'll be like, oh, this is this culture. This is what this means. You're
and they
like,
know because it hasn't
oh,
changed.
yes, it's
So
the
obviously, some
same.
things have changed, but there's so much just about the way that communities and families and elders and
Yeah.
marriage and
A lot of those still
hospitality,
remain the
it's just
exact
the same.
same.
And so they read it
Yeah.
at face value and they just understand it. We've got to kind of study it and dig into the culture and the context, but they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense to me
Yeah.
because that's
That's
life.
normal. Isn't that crazy?
It
It's
is.
so
It
great.
is. And so I've experienced that in different parts of the Middle East and also over in Central Asia, where a lot of these cultures have
Yeah.
just blended over
Uh-huh.
time. That was where the Persian Empire and Babylon and those, really every major empire, Ottoman Empire, not Ottoman that far. I'm getting way too nerdy now. Mongol Empire, though. But in these ancient places, where there is some modernity, but a lot of their values and the way that they live have just remained
The
over time.
exact same.
I was talking to people in Central Asia that said that they came to Christ reading the Bible, like reading the New Testament and hearing the things that Jesus said, but also observing what he did and how he did and said things. That
Yeah,
just spoke to them so much in their
that's
culture.
awesome.
And one of those things was Lazarus and Jesus' own resurrection. He said because they still. This is my friend Freddie, who was my translator.
Oh,
His
cool. Okay.
Freddie's his nickname. His name is Faradun. He taught me so much about like the Persian, Central Asian
Oh,
cultures.
I bet.
Anyway, he was explaining a lot of this to me, and one of those things was that they still bury people in tombs like that,
Oh, interesting.
especially wealthy people.
Wow.
And so,
Yeah.
like, they didn't have to imagine that. The
They'd
way
know
that
exactly what
ceremonies
that-
work, like
yeah.
the virgins and the oil lamps and the wedding at Cana and all of these things, that's just still how they do
How
things.
they do things.
And so,
Whereas for us, we're like, what does that?
like, that's kind of
what's that
weird. We
look
don't do it
like?
that way. What would that
No.
mean? Is this a metaphor? No,
No, it's
that was just a cultural example
what
at the
they did.
time that Jesus brought up because it made sense to them, and
yeah.
to so many people in the world, it still does. And then, of course, agricultural references. Like, I'm a terrible gardener. I have a vegetable garden sometimes, never done well.
Sometimes.
But all of the examples about sowing and reaping and all the stuff, it just makes sense to people that live off the land.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, well, that's just how we do life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I love talking about the Bible with especially Christians overseas, because they do bring these other perspectives.
Other aspects, yep.
That are just kind of ground shaking to me, but so obvious to them.
Yeah.
It's really humbling.
And you're like, what? Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
I never saw it that way before. But now it actually makes more sense.
exactly. It's really awesome. It's really cool. And I know I've like kept up with friends throughout years,
Yes,
years and
me
years
too.
and years. Like you can make a friend here and lose touch. And I mean, I'm better friends with some people overseas than I am with people who live,
And I think
in my same
one of
city.
the reasons is that the way we connected really mattered.
Yeah. It was like heart to heart, genuinely. Like, all right, I'm going to show you the deepest parts of myself. Like, I really want to know the deepest parts of you as well. And like, tell me all about you. And you get to know each other really quickly. So it's just
And
like,
their families.
Yeah. You get to know their culture, them as a human being. Like, it is just like straight to the point. There is no like, build up. It's just like, all right, hey, this is why I'm here. I want to know.
We also, this brings me to another benefit that I wrote down. Food.
Oh, the food.
So we connect with people around the table. Again, that's the way Jesus did it. It's the best way really to build deep relationships with people. And the tables you sit around are their tables with their food.
Oh, and it's so good.
Just, I love international foods.
I do too.
I know you do too. And so you get to explore new foods.
Yeah.
Home cooked meals a lot of times
Yep.
on our trips. And new music and art and clothing and all kinds of stuff.
Just an entire new world. But I
Yeah.
think even if you were to go somewhere, I think that a mission trip, or at least staying in people's homes or going with them in their day-to-day life, is the best way to get to see a culture. Like, you could
Absolutely.
go somewhere and do all the touristy things, and they're like, that's not even...
Like, everything's packaged. Everything's a product. Everything is a mass market version of something from their culture for you to be able to
Not the
quickly
real
consume. It's not the real thing.
But you get to do the real thing a lot of the time, and it is so fun.
I've seen
so
places
fun.
that like probably very few other Americans have ever seen, because it's something the locals knew about.
Yeah.
And they like something they really love to do with their families. And so they
and
took
they want
me.
to show.
But that's never going to be on a brochure. It's not going to be on I was thinking Lonely Planet. What's the Travel Advisor?
National
It's not going to be on Travel Advisor.
Yeah. Nope.
But you'll get to do it because you made a friend.
Yeah.
And they want to show you
and they're
something
just
that
as
they
cool,
love.
if not cooler, than the things you
Definitely,
see other
always
people
better.
do. You're
Always
like, man,
cooler.
like they know it better than anybody else. So
I saw some things in the Middle East that I thought, oh man, they really could if they marketed this, like if they made this a tourist attraction, they'd make so much money. But one of the
Yeah.
countries I went to, it's an Islamic country, and they just don't think about that kind of thing.
Oh,
In that place, they
yeah.
don't. It's a place where their heritage is just a bunch of desert tribes that eventually came together to find a way
Yeah.
to make money, but they don't really think about like tourism
Yeah.
for like seeing ancient sites and stuff like that. It's just not something
It's
they've
just the
really
normal part of
valued.
their.
They're starting to understand now, but
Yeah.
that they can make money that way. Sometimes they don't care, like they
Yeah.
don't want to.
No.
That's kind of cool
We're
too,
just like, all
actually.
right, cool.
Let it be untouched,
Yeah.
But the locals knew about it, and so
That's awesome.
it was this one particular example was an old Nestorian church, and I have to get into a bunch of nerdy history to explain what that is, but in a very ancient Christian movement that was very like missional, and there's the ruins of this little church that's. I mean, it's at least 1,200, 1,300 years old.
Wow.
And the ruins are still there. Hasn't been very well preserved because once it became an Islamic country, they didn't really care honestly.
No.
But it's there, and it has a fence around it to kind of protect it. But it's not a tourist site. It could be, but
But it's just there. Yeah. See, and you're like, a lot of people probably haven't seen that, but I have.
I tried to look it up. It took me a while to find it. I did find some info about it online, but there's not much.
That's really
anyway,
cool.
things like that. And then especially the hole in the wall mom and pop food places.
Oh, they know
that you're never going to hear about unless a friend takes you there.
Oh yeah. No, you could walk right past a place that you're like, and the locals are like, oh, that's the best spot to get that. And it's like, oh, I would never, that's not what I was recommended to by the internet, but I'm going to trust you.
Honestly, it works the same way. Like if you want to go somewhere good to eat, the best way to find it is ask a friend what they like.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't look it up. Just be like, hey, what's your favorite place?
Yeah. Like when you go visit someone in another town in the States, you go where they take you.
Yeah.
Like, you trust
what's your
them.
favorite? Yeah. So why
it's the same
do it differently overseas?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of benefits of international friends. A lot of, for sure. But as amazing as international friendships are, they usually come with a boarding pass, which means
that's right.
You need to
get
there.
You got to get there.
You
to
have
meet them.
to get there.
Take some advice.
So we have some advice for you to help you navigate through the airports, and know what to expect. So it'll be a little less intimidating.
Yes, because it can be. I've met a lot of people who are like, I've never traveled out of the country before. Like, I can't do it. And it's like, it seems intimidating at first, but you can. Like, I promise you can. And it's just, every airport is different, but they all have the exact same fundamentals. Like, as long as you know how to do that, it's just navigating where everything is. And people are so ready and eager to help.
Again,
like,
it's another place where people are helpful.
Yes.
To help you, especially if they work there.
If they work there, just ask them. They know exactly
But also
where it
other
is.
travelers. They want you to be successful because they know the benefits of travel, and they want, at least I do anyway.
Yeah.
I want to help somebody travel. That's why we're doing the segment.
Exactly.
I want you to be successful. So let's start with, at the very beginning, getting to the airport. So I won't harp on this, but that's the first step. And so however you do that logistically, you get a ride from a friend, take a shuttle, ride an Uber, take a train, whatever.
Whatever your preference.
You want to get to the airport a few hours on an international flight.
Yes.
A few hours before your departure time.
Yeah. Typically 2 to 4 is like
that's what the airlines suggest.
Bet. Yeah.
And it's not going to take you that long.
No.
But if there's some kind of a snag or whatever, you want to have that wiggle room.
Yeah, because you never know if the line through security is going to be like super short. Usually it's not bad, but sometimes they're going to be.
Sometimes, depending on the time the flight is, they'll like close down certain lanes.
Yep. So there's only one, and everybody's going through one.
I've been through that. I've been through that before. Sometimes there will be some kind of a problem with your booking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be something with your check bag. Maybe it's too heavy, or you
didn't
check it, or just anything like that.
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure that you've got enough time. When you get there, you're going to check in. That's the first thing you should do at the airport, and you're going to go to the airline. Go find the the desk for the airline that you're booked on. And most times there will be a kiosk out
And you
there,
can just do it yourself.
and you just do it right there. Scan your boarding pass. It'll ask you a bunch of questions and guide you through it. Even if you checked a bag, you confirm that and it'll print out your tag. You can put it on there.
You just take your bag up to the front desk,
drop it
show
off
them your
and
stuff,
go.
drop it and go.
If you don't want to do that, or for whatever reason that doesn't work, you can go up to the desk, wait in line, and they'll help you through the whole thing.
And
you
it
don't have
typically
to
doesn't
figure
take
anything out from that point. Just
Nope.
just
You
say,
really
I'm here.
just need your boarding pass from online, your
And an
ticket,
ID.
show them in your ID, show them what you got, and they will do literally everything for you and just hand it over.
They want you to be successful. They want you to be a happy customer. They'll take care
They
of
want
you.
everything to go smoothly. It's less work for them if everything goes according to
Very
plan.
true.
So
Also, a lot of times the desk agent is going to be a gate agent and therefore also part of the crew.
Yep.
And so they want happy passengers because that makes everything easier on them.
They do.
So also because happy passengers are better behaved.
They are.
That's just an honest
They are. You want a
fact.
happy passenger. So then, once you get all that stuff done, and it's very easy to find this because you can't get anywhere else in the airport without checking in first. Like you can't get anywhere. Like it is very step by step. First you check in.
Oh yeah.
Then you go security. Then you find your gate. Like you can't go to your gate and then like you can't do any of that. Like it's very much.
Someone will stop you. In fact.
Yeah, they will tell you, hey, you're not doing this right. Like
Yeah.
it's very laid out. It's not like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Just go to your gate.
Yeah.
It'll
Check in,
lead you to your
find
security
gate.
line.
That's pretty much.
Go through security, do what they say. I think security's gotten easier throughout the years.
Has.
Because like it used to be before, like you have to have everything in a clear plastic bag, and I have people who are like, they don't even have me take my liquids out. Like they're just like, you can just leave them
They don't
in.
harass me at all. Now I'll tell you this is why. So
they used to.
One thing you do need to know. So after you've checked in, dropped your bags, and you just go find the security checkpoint. It's very obvious. It'll be easy to find. If
Large
not,
sign,
people will be
security.
directing you to it because that's where they want you to go.
Yep.
There's a couple of different ways you can go through it.
Yep.
So there's the general security, but also if you have to do this way in advance.
Yeah.
If you have TSA pre-check or clear or another expedited program, there's a different lane for that.
Yeah.
If
and
it's open
faster.
and it's faster and easier on you because so if you're going through the general line, they'll just tell you what you need to do even before you get to the front of the line where someone checks your passport and boarding pass and then sends you to the actual x-ray machine. Before you get there, someone's always shouting out instructions. And there are signs or a video along the way that tells you what you need to take out of your bag. Do you need to take your shoes off or not, belt off or not, all that stuff. Just pay attention. If you're a first-time traveler, don't just have your headphones on and zone out because you need to hear and see the instructions. But if you do pay attention, you're not going to mess it up. So I always say the number one rule is just follow instructions and you'll get through pretty smoothly.
Yep.
There's nothing to worry about if you're not doing something wrong.
Exactly.
It is so nerve-wracking for most people to go through security because they feel like, they're in trouble before they ever do anything. But
they'll let you know if you're doing something wrong.
Like
they will let you know.
They'll let you know.
They'll let you know.
Sometimes they're nice and sometimes they're grumpy.
They're either the nicest people or the meanest people.
That's
like I've not met
seriously true.
anybody
There is
in
no
between. No.
That is very true. I'm sure there's a comedy bit about that. If
there
not,
has to be.
Someone should do one. So you
But
get
it's
up
not
there.
hard
If
to-
you have TSA pre-check, basically you just throw your stuff on the belt and go through the metal detector, not the X-ray
Big old
scanner
machine.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's a quick, easy
I've randomly
process.
gotten pre-check before, and it's
Nice.
like my ticket will print out, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
Like, they're
especially
just-
if you're traveling with someone who has it. A lot of times you'll get it.
Just
if
get a
you're on the same
random.
booking.
Oh, it's so
But
nice.
anyway, it's nice. It's not that expensive. It's just
Yeah.
it makes the process a little easier. But regardless, most of the time, even if the line is long, it's not going to take you that long. You don't have to be nervous about missing your flight if the line is long because you got there on time.
Yeah.
Right? And you've got
then
plenty of time.
Finding your gate, usually not that hard. DFW's big, so there's shuttles to different.
But like you said at the very beginning, finding your terminal and then the gate, it's usually the letter is the terminal.
Yep.
And the number is the gate inside that terminal is not that difficult. Now, that is not to say that airports are laid out logically.
They are not.
They are not.
They are
But there are
typically not.
signs and maps everywhere.
Yeah. And once you find your gate, do what you want.
That's
if you're
right.
there on time, you don't have to camp out there.
You can go shopping. I hate shopping. People
Yeah, but
apparently
you
love it
can.
because there's shops everywhere in an airport. It's like an airport's like a mall.
Yeah, you can get
That-
food, you can go shopping, you can watch a movie, you can read your book.
Lots
but
of
you
stuff to
have an
do.
assigned time you get on the plane. So even if you're there first, unless it's on your ticket that you're boarding first, you're not going first. Like, you have to wait anyways.
You're going to be group 8 or something like that
Yes!
unless you've paid money for
So
it.
don't sit around at your gate and wait expecting to get on first,
Yeah.
because that's just not how it works. Like, once you find your gate, I know that some people are like, you don't need to
I got to make sure it's really
you have to
there.
make sure it's really there. I'm that person. I want to know where it is.
Do you know why? So I am not a nervous flyer at all. Security, finding
You're
my
like, "I've
gate, all that
done
stuff, boarding times.
this."
It just doesn't make me nervous. Probably just because of experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do go and check and make sure I know where my gate is, because
Yes.
sometimes
It is.
it's like downstairs or off some little
Or you
random
have to take a
hallway,
shuttle
or
to
you have
get
to take a
there,
shuttle to
and that
it.
adds
Exactly.
time. Like, you want to know where it is so that when you need to be there, you're not going,
Yeah.
oh.
Because my advice is go have a good time and relax. Let all those nerves kind of flutter away by just hanging out. But get to your gate half an hour before your boarding time. Not
Yep.
departure time, the boarding time. It'll be on your boarding pass, which you can have on your app, or it might be a paper one, or both. But get to that gate like half an hour before boarding time, because there could be a delay.
Yep.
There could be some special instructions that the flight crew needs to give you, especially if it's a smaller aircraft. That you might have to check your carry-on at the
Yeah.
side or whatever. There might be some special instructions as you don't want to miss. So, but you don't want to scramble around for that whole 30 minutes figuring
Because
out,
that
oh no,
will be
this
stressful.
went from like H1 to H10, but my gate's H8 and it's not here.
Yep.
Where is it?
Because then you will add
It might
stress
have been
to
down a
yourself.
little hallway or down some stairs or something like
Yep.
that, and nobody told you.
Nope.
And
You just assumed it would be right there.
you just
and
thought it would
it's
be
not.
between 7 and 9, right?
Yep.
But it isn't.
No, sometimes it's not.
And so that's happened before. So it's good to figure out where it is. You can also just ask that when you check in. I just never think about it at that point.
Yeah, because sometimes it's just like you're there so early, so you just wander around. It's good to know, just in case things
Yeah.
do get moved.
I like to go explore and do stuff, but I want to hang out mostly somewhere
Mm-hmm.
near where my gate is, because a lot of times your gate will change anyway.
Yep.
It'll be somewhere nearby most of
Yep.
the time, but you just kind of want to be aware of where you need to get,
Yep.
because it can also get pretty crowded sometimes at boarding time, and you don't want to scramble to figure out where you need to
No.
be. Anyway, that might have made it sound like it's more nerve-wracking than it really is, but
No, but it won't be nerve-wracking if you're just on time and you're conscious about this stuff.
Yep.
I've also traveled with people who just don't care and they just expect everybody else will tell them what to do, and that stresses me
yeah,
out.
so you
'cause
do
I'm like,
need to pay some
hey,
attention. You
you
need to be a
need to-
little intentional about
yes,
it.
pay attention. Just know what time, know where you need to be, but you'll be good. But don't
Yeah.
stress yourself out by going, is it changing? Is it changing? And checking, because it might change. It might not. But don't worry about it.
Don't
You'll
worry
get
about it.
there.
It's gonna be fine.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
And if you don't get there at the planned for time,
yeah.
you also shouldn't worry.
Yeah.
So delays. Let's talk about delays.
They happen all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And for what reasons do delays happen?
There can be a lot. Weather. There could be something wrong with the plane. There could, even if there's no weather issues where you're taking off, if where you're going has weather problems, then
Yep,
they're
good
like, we're
point.
not going to take you
Good
because you're
point.
just going to divert
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reasons that an airplane could get delayed. And you just kind of have to. They can't help it. You can't help it. It's nobody in the airport's decision. It's
Yeah, you need to understand that in our world, everything's connected. I don't mean that in like a Buddhist way, like a Jedi way. Everything's like this big web of
Yeah.
chain reactions.
It is.
That what happened at this airport is going to affect what happens at yours. And man, traffic controllers are dealing with just so many moving parts.
We need to get my husband on the podcast.
Yeah, I was going to
He
say,
can give a whole
we have a
spiel.
subject matter expert on this one here.
He could tell you the ins and outs of diversions and what is happening, because he's the one that diverts planes. So he is the one that does that.
What a punk.
I know. I know.
But see, again,
But
there's
see,
good reasons for it.
there are
And
good
once you
reasons.
listen to
There's
somebody
safety
who has
reasons.
experience, then you have a little empathy and you understand more about why it happens. There's good reasons behind something that you think is
Exactly.
bad.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. Because
See,
it's
full
easy when you're
circle.
traveling to be like, oh, who delayed my flight? But then
There's lots of reasons
I'm married to
for
someone
it.
who does that.
Now,
and
the
I'm just like,
way that the
oh,
airline reacts to it, now that's where you can really have some real frustration because they're really not, their priority is not really to take responsibility for things like that.
because it's not their fault.
It's really not
It's not
under
their
their
fault at
control.
all.
So,
They just
but
have to
what
move
you
you
should
on.
do when you get delayed is, first of all, be patient and kind because, again, it's not their fault and it's especially not the people at the desk fault.
No.
It's not their fault.
It's
They
okay to
just
be
gotta deal with it.
frustrated. It's okay to be tired. Oftentimes diversions happen when you are so tired. Like, and usually on your way home when you're just like,
Usually.
I just
Yeah, they
want
always
to be
always happen at the
home.
worst time. It's like one more leg of the flight,
Where you're
and
like,
you're so
"Oh."
tired. They're like, "Hey, you get to go to Pittsburgh instead of Dallas." You know what? I don't
Yep.
think I want to.
It happens. Me and Bucky, short story time, on our way home from Peru, we got
Oh yeah, that was
diverted
fun times.
from Miami to Orlando, Orlando to Houston,
Something
Houston
like
to
that. It was like
Dallas.
4 different
Houston, we had a
bounces.
layover of like 6 hours. We could have driven back home, and we were just ready to be.
That used to happen
back.
to me when I lived in Nashville because a lot of times we'd fly through Atlanta
Yeah.
and delays would always happen there. I'm like, it's 4 hours to my house.
Like, could I
Is
just
it worth
drive?
just renting a car and go and driving?
Some of people thought about it. They were like, I just want to be home. But then it's like,
Yeah.
you already have your tickets
Just,
bought.
you're
You might
too
as
tired to drive.
Yes, 4 hours. Might as well just take a nap in the airport.
Yeah.
Take a nap on
It's
the
already
plane.
paid for. Don't incur the extra expense.
Oftentimes you'll get a voucher. You'll get a
that's
food
the other
voucher.
thing is they don't want to take responsibility, but a lot of times they are either obligated to,
Yes.
or they're also frustrated and they want you to be still happy, and so they'll give you something.
Yes.
And now I'm talking about in America.
Yes.
I'm exclusively talking about in
America.
America right now, okay?
Other places?
Because
No.
horror stories.
No.
But they want you to be happy, and I think it's probably just a capitalist thing. I don't know, but
Yeah.
we reap the benefit of they want you to
They
still
want
fly
you to
with
be
them.
happy, so
Anyhow,
there you go.
competition and whatnot. But a lot of times you'll get something, and it'll be a food voucher. Like you're probably not going to get money back except in certain circumstances, or hotel.
But
It's
they'll
really
get
hard
you
to
on
get a
a
hotel.
new flight.
But
They'll give you your food.
it's easier to hang out in the hotel. I mean, in the airport instead of to leave. And
Yeah.
if you got food, like just go to that restaurant that you wouldn't have
Yeah.
if you hadn't just got free money.
Yeah. Go get your food
You know,
and then just go
have a good time.
take a nap.
Which I can take a nap anywhere, so that's usually my solution.
Oh yeah, and if you're that tired, I'm not one that can just typically like sit up and nap, but at the airport I can nap.
I don't remember what airport it
anywhere.
was. It might have been in Houston, but on that, I think it was on that trip. I found a quiet spot out away from things. It was kind of dark, and I laid down straight on the floor
Oh, me too.
and slept harder than it was one of
Anybody's
the
business.
the best naps I've ever had.
Oh, it's so weird. Anywhere else, like noisy and people, you're just like, I don't want to sleep in front of like everybody. But in airports, you just do your thing. You lay on the floor. You lay crumpled over in your seat. You do whatever you can.
An airport
to
is
get
a flawless place where the rules of society don't
You
apply.
can do anything you want to do inside the airport, and
Yeah.
nobody's going to judge you.
You know, they
at
might,
all.
but they're judging everybody else, and everyone's judging them too. So
Yeah.
who cares?
So who cares?
Yeah,
Yep. You got to do what you got to do to survive
that
the
is
flights.
true.
So.
That's true. Which we can talk about that as its own whole topic. But,
Yep. Exactly.
Um,
It's just
so
it's
if
not
you get,
as
and if
scary.
it gets canceled or
Yes.
rerouted or whatever, it's just it's probably not the end of the world.
Nope.
Some delays can last a long time, but again, like with getting to the airport, just plan ahead.
Yeah.
Assume that something could happen and try not to plan something super, super important for the day right after you get back.
Yes.
Because you might not get back that day.
No. Usually account for not being home then, just in case. And
Just in
anyway, you'll
case.
probably be
Or
jet
you'll be
lagged
too
or wherever.
tired.
Yeah, you'll be tired from
Yeah.
traveling anyway.
So that's kind of a rule of thumb is just like if you can help it, don't plan something for right after you get back because you might be late or you might just not feel like it or whatever. But that also takes all the stress off.
It does.
Even though after a long trip, especially a mission trip, you want to get home, you're tired, you miss everybody, you miss your bed.
Yep.
you miss the unreasonable number of cats that you have, and and plus all the children in your house that you miss, and it's just it's just going to be more frustrating if
You're
there's
pressed
something
for
else you have to get
time.
back for. Yeah, time.
Yes.
Take that element out of it,
Yep.
and it's going to be easier to deal with getting delayed or rerouted because you understand that that's just a part of travel.
It's
Again,
just what
with the chain
happens.
reactions, one thing affects this, affects that, affects that. So there's nobody's trying to ruin your day. It just happens, and
you will get home.
You'll
You
get home
will
eventually.
get home eventually. Like, and just be prepared. Like, that's the thing. And if you don't know something, ask questions. Like, I get people whenever we go. I've been to Africa a million times. They're always like, I want to know like what I do with my visa and what I do at customs and what I do. Your trip leader will tell you.
Yeah,
like
just go with
literally,
it.
when I went on trips in high school and even trips here, people oftentimes like write it down for you or set your group down and be like, hey, when they ask you this, you say that. Or if this is on this form, this is where we're staying. Put this. You don't need to know that. That's the great time of traveling with people and with a missions group. We know all that information. Ask someone leading the trip and they'll give it to you. You do not need to know that yourself. And again, you are directed to the counter. You can't make it to step 4 without going to step 2. Like, you have to do steps 2 and 3 to get to step 4.
Oh, wow.
You're led there.
I'm pretty sure we skipped customs one time when I landed in Spain.
Did you?
It's another whole
But
story.
see, that's
of its
international.
Own.
In America,
That's
you
true.
could never get away with that.
That's true.
But in other countries, sometimes it's a little bit easier just to kind of slip through the cracks. But again, look, you're here. Nothing happened. You made it in the country.
Yeah.
Like, there will be hiccups. That's the thing. Do not expect it to be perfect. There will be travel hiccups, but like, we can tell the story of Peru and being stuck in airports for 24 hours and laugh at it now.
Yeah.
At the time, not fun.
It was not.
It was exhausting.
Fun.
It was aggravating.
Oh, that one place that we sat. I don't even remember where that was. Was that in Shapira? No, in what was the town?
No.
Maybe it was Lima.
It was Lima because we went to Lima to Pura. But in Lima, it was only like an hour
was it in
flight.
Lima where we sat in that one place? There was like a little coffee bar in the middle of the terminal.
With the McDonald's, but you couldn't go anywhere else.
Yeah, you had to stay there.
It was so full. There were no chairs with backs, so everybody wanted to sleep. It was like 1 a.m., but the only things to sit on were stools and like the floor. You didn't even want to sit on the floor because it was a food court.
Oh man.
Oh, it was so.
It was pretty rough
because it was literally like 1 a.m. and we were just like. We thought we'd be able to get in and sleep, and it was like 4 or 5 hours. Like, it wasn't just, oh, we're here for an hour.
I remember it being a long time.
It was a long time, and there was nowhere to sit or sleep, so you just kind of had to be awake.
Wasn't it freezing?
Yeah, and the food courts weren't even open because, like, their airport's so small, it wasn't even open, so, like, the only thing you could get was McDonald's, and that was about it.
That was an adventure.
It was. But see, we can look at it.
But we
had
each other.
Everybody else was going through the exact same thing, and we lived. So.
Yeah. You know what? And that's a bonding experience too.
It is, and we wouldn't be able to tell it on the podcast if we hadn't gone through it.
Look at that.
So you're welcome.
Honestly, a lot of my best stories, I don't know if they're my best stories. They're my favorite to tell though.
Yeah. Are the things that go wrong?
Things that went wrong in transit. Yep.
Same.
Because now it's a cool story or a fun story anyways.
Yeah. It is.
Funny things happen too sometimes when you're stuck somewhere, or just bizarre things.
Oh yeah.
Or sometimes just utterly ridiculous, and it's frustrating then, but then it's really amusing later. So many stories.
You just have to trust that you will get to your location no matter what is happening. Like, especially if you're traveling together on a mission trip. Everybody's in the same boat. Everybody has to do the same things that you are. Like, you are not alone doing it.
Yeah, it's easier not to take things personally or just be like, oh, woe is me, because it's all of us.
It's happening to everybody. But, like, oftentimes the trip leader, they know exactly what they're doing. They've done it a million times.
Yes.
They have all the info. Oftentimes they have copies and duplicates of your passport, of your visa. So if for whatever reason something years ago is missing, they will have
after
it.
53 years of this ministry, IC kind of knows what it's doing.
We do.
And so you're in really good hands if you go with us.
Yes.
And that's not just a commercial. It's
for real.
The reality.
Like, you really don't have to do much but show up and be
Yeah,
willing.
see, that's what, like, we try to lower the bar, not lower the bar. That sounds awful. We want high quality people who love Jesus and sharing the gospel to go with us. But we really want you to say yes. We want those people
to make it as
say
easy
yes.
as possible.
Yeah, we want to lower. We want to eliminate barriers.
Yes,
there you go. That's it. We want to eliminate
You're not lowering the bar.
because we want you to be able to say yes to taking the gospel to the nations, and we want to be a part of taking you there. And so all of that frustrating, nerve-wracking stuff, we try to take care of that.
So you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you can just focus on praying and preparing to go. Yep.
And that's that.
And so that will segue to a commercial. Please go with us on an international mission trip. We go all over the world, different trips every year, but you can sign up to go with us. And we just focus on making international friends.
Yeah.
And sharing the gospel alongside them and making new friends that we get to share Jesus with.
Exactly.
I'm going to abuse that so much. And then so you can check out our schedule at internationalcommission.org/go and learn all sorts of other things about our ministry.
Yep. Sign up for a trip, please.
Yeah.
There's lots of cool countries to go visit. There's lots of cool states you can go to.
That's
if you don't want to go out of the
country,
you can go to a U.S. trip. But please sign up. Like we want to go with you. You could literally go on a trip with one of us. Like
that's
we'd
right.
love to meet
I
you.
am leading a trip to the Middle East next November. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to toot my own horn. Well, but I will. But I'm just saying I've had experience the last few years taking teams to the Middle East, and you're in good hands with IC and with people who have the experience. So that even sounds like maybe it's a scary place, but I assure you it's not. We're going with people again that are friendly. They love people. The people that we're working with are believers that will take good care of you as well. So if you want to hear more conversations like this, please like and subscribe to this podcast.
Yeah. Share it.
So you don't miss it. And share it. Yeah, share it with some friends. Share it with somebody. Share this one with somebody who you know is interested in going overseas, but they're just a little bit nervous about doing it. So they can learn that they don't have to be.
You don't need to be at all.
So leave us reviews and comments. We want to interact with you. We want more people to be able to hear this and get encouraged to go. And please leave us some comments with feedback and questions.
Yeah, we'd love to answer them.
We'll answer those in future podcasts.
For sure.
What else they need to know?
I think that's it. There's just really nothing to be afraid of when traveling.
Yep.
Like there's really not. And as long as, our trust is in the Lord, we really don't need to fear anything. Like
it's true. Hey, I've been on a lot of trips and a lot of things have happened. I haven't been shipwrecked or bit by snakes yet.
Yeah.
But that's happened and been okay.
Yeah, it's all the things have happened. But guess what? We are all here. And that's that.
All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.